Okay, I wanted to do my first podcast here to explain a little bit more about the Adi Shakti as well as Shiva and the combination of what Shiva and Shakti are. In this incarnation from my Kundalini awakening, I was given my true name, which is Sati. Now, Sati is part of the Satra Yuga and part of the enlightenment of unity consciousness, which belongs to this Yuga cycle after the Kali Yuga. Now, I also incarnated as a Pisces, which is the end in the Vedic times of the Kali Yuga. Now, because I have embodied the transformation of the life cycle in being married to my twin flame, which is Shiva, we are ending a cycle, which is the Kali Yuga. And his planetary aspect is Pluto, which goes into Aquarius at the end of November. Now, there are certain top-down structures that are the powers that be that had run this world behind the scenes on Illuminati aspects that you do not see. I'm not talking about the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers. Those are faces that are seen. I'm talking about things that are unseen, behind the course, behind the veils, that are archonic energies that have an infiltration onto this matrix system that run a certain 3D reality. This has been revealed to me as the Yahweh matrix, and a very old version of the Yahweh matrix is also known as the Yaldabaoth. This was created by Sophia when she looked away from Source to create things out of darkness and smoke, which is a polarity complex that we see today. And this created the demiurge. Now, there is a certain correlation of what has to come into balance in the cosmic structure to return these false father archetypes back into unity consciousness. Now, these archetypes had come in through the black hole, which is the center of our Milky Way galaxy, to create certain religions and indoctrinations that created a certain mind control over people. I'm not talking about spirituality, because spirituality is a different aspect. Spirituality is unity consciousness within the esoteric teachings in the golden rule that have weaved itself into mystery schools around the world. And that can be found when you do a deep dive into spirituality. The aspects of religion, which causes indoctrination and certain separation and polarity complexes, have to move through the black hole, the corrected black hole, which is the Abaddon, into the light hole, which is a full recycling system that connects back into source code, into all that is, so that it does not have to reinstate the same lessons over again as it learns lessons separated from itself. So all of those aspects that had been separate of source needs to come back to source. And that's what gets transmuted at the end of the Kali Yuga, which in the Hindu aspect is the Kalki, or the Christ consciousness, which is also known as Sananda, and moves into the Satra Yuga, which becomes unity consciousness. Now, those aspects of the demiurge no longer exist because they no longer remember themselves as separate. This is a transmutation that Shiva provides as a guardian for the earth template. How can I say that death also is a guardian? Well, let me explain. Shiva and his abode is also the area of Mount Kailash, which is the crown chakra of the planet. And when one dies, the spirit exits out of the crown of the body and is transmuted into light. Now, there are certain aspects that can allow the spirit to stay in a physical vessel longer, if practiced. When that decision is made to become light and to move into that non-physical aspect, it then transfers into that. Now, there are also aspects in the quantum entanglement of our sun that is measured in the Schumann resonance and is altering our holographic matrix reality that becomes light and sound aspects in our physical experience. And the sun pulsates certain plasma gamma waves that can help to activate the light within the telomeres of our DNA that activate the dormant DNA, otherwise known as junk DNA, within the physical aspects of our being. The human has a 12-strand DNA, and this should offer them certain complexes that create certain reality fields around them, whether it be clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, astral travel, astral projection, other spiritual gifts that can be activated within the physical template or temple of the body. And this is taught in Gnostic teachings and esoteric teachings. You will find this both in the Christian teachings and esoteric mystery schools, as well as some of the mystery schools that are in Tibetan lineages. You have to also understand that Mount Kailash sits on a axis mundi, or apex point, that creates 4 directions or 4 aspects of the Eastern religions that have weaved itself into Christianity and other aspects of Western philosophies. Those 4 aspects are the Hindu, Jainism, Taoism, and Buddhism aspects that have created certain religions that also have a philosophical aspect of being. Now, Shiva has 114 ways to realize truth within and without the body. Those aspects of Taoism, Jainism, Hinduism, and Buddhism may only uncover portions of that entirety of truth, which goes very deep and far-reaching. He is the balance that keeps our universal structure in harmony, the same way that the balance in the microcosm of the body keeps homeostasis or health, because we live in a mirrored universe. There are certain aspects of both dark and light that need to come into the law of balance. And when those things are out of balance on the macrocosm, they are destroyed for the sake of health within the whole structure of the universal template. Shiva is also connected to the Brahma races, which is connected to the Atman and the immortality and the eternity of that complex. This is reflected in all life. As if a tree dies, it decomposes to become compost, and that provides soil for the rebirth of new life. It is transformative. It is not evil. Seeing this is an allowance of enlightenment that gains liberation for the soul when it is ready for the transformation into the non-physical. And there are aspects of the non-physical life that is true to life itself than the physical aspects in this illusionary Maya. I realize that there is a lot to say, but people have to find the 0-point consciousness and the non-duality between those two aspects. Because when you do balance the polarity within your own body, you can find the middle way, the aspects of the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang, the aspects of the light and the darkness, the aspects of the disease and the ease, the aspects of all of those things that create true oneness. Food for thought. I hope this helps in understanding what the middle way is, and may everyone strive to live it.